Welcome back to our channel. In this video, we reveal some of the most valuable coins in the world. Coins that collectors and investors are willing to pay thousands or even millions for. Imagine this, you're sorting through a handful of old change, maybe coins left behind by a parent or tucked away in a forgotten jar in the kitchen drawer. You flip one over, and there it is, a 1965 Washington quarter. Looks ordinary, right? No mint mark, no shine left from its younger days. But what if I told you that tiny, dull coin could be worth over $544,000 today? Yes, $500,000. Sitting quietly, waiting for someone sharp enough to recognize its hidden value. You see, not every treasure sparkles. Some are disguised as the most common things we handle daily, and that's exactly what makes this story so extraordinary. The 1965 no-mint mark Washington quarter isn't just another piece of pocket change. It's a mystery, a mistake, and for a lucky few, a golden ticket. Now, before you think, come on, how could a quarter be worth a luxury car, a dream home, or even a lifetime of vacations? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin has collectors competing fiercely, how you could spot one yourself, and why its value keeps skyrocketing. Oh, and if you think your luck's bad, just remember the person who found the first one almost spent it on a soda. That's right, $500,000 for 25 cents. Talk about expensive refreshments. Let's rewind to 1965, a time of major change in the US Mint. Silver was being phased out of circulating coins due to rising costs. The Mint began producing clad coins, made of copper and nickel instead of the 90% silver content used before. During this massive transition, chaos quietly unfolded. Some 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964. These were supposed to be melted down, but a few slipped through the system. They carried no mint mark, appeared just like the new quarters, and were released into circulation without anyone noticing. That's where the magic and the money began. Collectors soon realized what had happened. The hunt for the 1965 silver quarter began, and every pocketful of change became a potential gold mine. These rare transition error coins, now authenticated by top grading companies like PCGS and NGC, have become legends in numismatic history. One pristine example of a 1965 no-mint mark quarter struck on a silver planchet sold for $544,000, setting the market ablaze. Prices have soared as wealthy collectors compete to own a piece of minting history. The reason? It's not just about rarity, it's about the story behind it. A government transition, a minting error, and a nation in economic flux, all captured in one tiny 25-cent time capsule. And let's be honest, how often can you hold history and a small fortune in the palm of your hand? So, how can you tell if your 1965 quarter could be the one worth hundreds of thousands? Well, here's where attention to detail can change your destiny. True silver 1965 quarters will weigh around 6.25 grams instead of the standard 5.67 grams. That tiny difference is your first clue. The sound is different too. A sharper, higher-pitched ring compared to the dull tone of the copper-nickel-clad coins. But here's the thrilling part. Many of these coins are still out there, sitting in old collections, tucked away in bank rolls, or hiding at the bottom of a forgotten change jar. Every day that passes, one more person discovers a piece of this minting miracle. And every discovery pushes demand even higher. Now, here's where excitement meets urgency. Collectors and investors know the secret's out, and the race is on. The coin market is booming, and rare error coins like the 1965 silver quarter are becoming the hottest assets among those who crave both history and high returns. Imagine being able to say you didn't just find a coin, you uncovered a financial breakthrough from America's past. And here's a little humor to reset your mind. Next time you see someone drop a quarter and leave it behind, maybe pick it up. You're not being thrifty, you're being smart. That could be your $544,000 payday lying on the floor. Rumor has it, there are still unconfirmed 1965 quarters struck on 1964 silver planchets sitting in circulation, undiscovered. If that's true, the next $1 million quarter might be waiting in your wallet right now. This isn't just about coins. It's about legacy, timing, and knowing the value of what others overlook. If you've got a 1965 quarter at home, it's time to take a closer look. We're living in an age where hidden treasures are rediscovered every single day, and your opportunity might be sitting right under your nose. So, if you love stories of wealth, rarity, and opportunity, hit that like button, subscribe for more hidden coin secrets, and join our community of collectors turning history into prosperity. Imagine this. You're going through an old box in your attic, maybe a jar of coins that's been sitting untouched for decades. And there it is, a simple, silver-colored quarter dated 1966. No mint mark. Ordinary, right? Just 25 cents. But what if I told you that this unassuming coin could be worth $784,000 today? That's right. A coin you could have used to buy a soda in the 60s might now buy you a luxury home. Welcome to today's story, a tale of hidden wealth, rare errors, and the kind of luck that turns ordinary people into overnight millionaires. This is not a myth. This is the story of the 1966 no-mint mark Washington quarter, a coin so special, it's sending shockwaves through the world of collectors and investors alike. Now, before you rush to your coin jar, stay with me. Because what makes this coin worth nearly $750,000 is not what you think. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and how to find out if you've been sitting on a fortune this whole time. Let's rewind for a moment to 1966. America was booming. Gas cost 32 cents a gallon. The Beatles ruled the airwaves. But something unusual was happening inside the US Mint. Due to a coin shortage and massive production changes, the Mint temporarily removed all mint marks from coins between 1965 and 1967. That's why your 1966 quarter doesn't say D or S. But here's the twist. That wasn't the real treasure. Hidden among those billions of quarters were a few minting errors so rare, they would later capture the attention of serious numismatists and serious money. We're talking double die strikes, off-center minting, and even coins struck on the wrong metal planchets. One such specimen, the legendary 1966 no-mint mark Washington quarter, was discovered with a double die obverse, sharp details, and a mirror-like finish that made experts lose their breath. It was flawless, and when it hit auction, the bids skyrocketed, ultimately selling for an astonishing $784,000. Let that sink in. 25 cents turned into nearly $800,000. That's a return that no stock, no crypto, no lottery ticket can promise. And here's where things get even more fascinating. Collectors aren't just chasing these coins for their rarity. They're chasing them for their story. The historical moment, the human error, the whisper of time frozen in metal. The 1966 Washington quarter represents something profound. The chance that you might already own a piece of hidden history. A mistake so perfect, it became priceless. Here's where most people give up too soon. They look at their coins and think, it looks normal. Big mistake. Because these error coins often hide in plain sight. The key details, like a faint double image on the words, "In God We Trust," or an off-center strike, can be easy to miss unless you know exactly where to look. One small difference could mean the gap between 25 cents and $784,000. So here's what you need to do. Grab a magnifying glass or a coin loop and examine your 1966 quarters closely. Check for doubled letters, sharp proof-like details, and especially those struck on silver planchets instead of clad ones. If you suspect you've got something, don't clean it and don't spend it. Get it appraised by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, because that one call could change your life. Now, imagine this for a moment. You, standing at an auction house as bidders fight over your ordinary quarter. The gavel slams, and you walk away with nearly $1 million in your account. What would that feel like? Freedom? Victory? Maybe even destiny? Because sometimes, life hides its biggest treasures in the smallest things. And here's the best part. Demand for rare US coins has never been higher. Collectors and investors from all over the world are hunting for pieces like this, driving prices higher every year. Coins like the 1966 no-mint mark Washington quarter are now seen as portable wealth, assets that combine beauty, rarity, and legacy. So before you click away, remember this: the next time you hold a quarter, look closely. You're not just holding metal, you might be holding a fortune, a story, and a ticket to the life you've always dreamed of. And if you thought the 1966 quarter was impressive, wait until you see what a 1970s Washington quarter recently sold for. Its value will leave you speechless, and it could be hiding right in your change drawer. Don't miss it. Your next big discovery might be just one coin away. Imagine this for a moment. You're holding a handful of quarters, maybe from your car's cup holder or that old jar on your dresser. You glance down, and there it is. A simple 1967 Washington quarter. Ordinary? Think again. Because one tiny detail could turn that coin into a $988,000 fortune. Yes, you heard that right. Almost $1 million hiding in plain sight. Now, before you think this is some collector's fantasy, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why the 1967 no-mint mark Washington quarter is one of the most sought-after coins in American numismatic history. This is not just about metal. It's about opportunity, wealth, and legacy. And let's be honest, how many people dream of living a life where a simple discovery changes everything? Where your curiosity, not luck, unlocks abundance. That's exactly the story we're diving into today. The year was 1967. America was in the middle of transformation, rock music, space exploration, and a nation looking toward the future. But something special happened at the U.S. Mint. To combat coin shortages and speculation, the Mint stopped placing mint marks on coins altogether. Every quarter, whether made in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, bore no mint mark. But here's where the twist begins, because among these millions of 1967 quarters, a few were struck in error. Some with double dies, off-center strikes, or dramatic planchet mistakes. And those are worth a small fortune today. Collectors crave them because 1967 sits right at the crossroads of old silver tradition and modern minting technology. It was the end of one era and the uncertain dawn of another. And hidden in that transition are the rarest mistakes. The ones that can make an ordinary coin worth $988,000 in today's market. Here's the thrilling part. Most people have already handled this coin without realizing its value. The fear of "what if I already spent it?" haunts even the most casual coin enthusiast. Because these coins often look deceptively normal. No flashy colors. No unusual metal. Just a quarter. But look closer, because the magic lies in the details. Doubling on the letters Liberty, a faint misalignment of Washington's bust, or a subtle die crack across the date could signal a rare mint error. And one collector's simple curiosity led to the discovery of a $988,000 1967 no-mint mark quarter at a small estate sale. Imagine the shock. One moment you're buying a coin for face value, the next you're holding a piece of history worth nearly $1 million. And if you're thinking, that could never happen to me, remember this: every millionaire coin collector started with one lucky find. Let's be real. How many times have you dropped a quarter and just left it there because it wasn't worth bending over for? Yeah. Maybe next time you'll grab it, because that ordinary coin could fund your dream home, your dream car, or maybe even your dream life. So the next time you hear that cling on the floor, think of it as the sound of opportunity knocking. Now here's what's truly fascinating. In the current coin market, demand for error quarters has skyrocketed. Auction houses from Heritage to Stack's Bowers have seen bidding wars over high-grade 1967 quarters. These coins represent something more than metal. They represent the thrill of discovery and financial transformation. Investors, not just collectors, are pouring into this space. They know that coin values are driven by rarity, demand, and historical significance. And this quarter checks all three boxes. When a coin combines scarcity with story, it becomes a status symbol, a badge of wealth and refined knowledge. That's why owning one isn't just about collecting. It's about curating history. Now, imagine this: the market is shifting fast. As awareness grows, these rare 1967 quarters are disappearing into private collections, never to reemerge. And that means prices are climbing. Right now, a verified 1967 no-mint mark quarter with a recognized mint error can fetch up to $988,000. And that number keeps rising as demand surges among high-end investors. The opportunity is real, but the window is closing. If you have a 1967 quarter at home, don't wait. Get it checked. Every day, new finds rewrite the record books, and yours could be next. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly does one of these $988,000 quarters look like up close? Because the difference between fortune and face value can sometimes be invisible to the naked eye. Stay tuned until the end, because I'm about to reveal how experts identify the subtle signs of a true mint error, and how you can tell if yours is one of them. The truth is, stories like these aren't just about coins. They're about possibility. They remind us that wealth often hides where most people never think to look. Every successful collector, every wealthy investor, shares one thing: the ability to recognize value before the rest of the world does. And right now, that opportunity sits inside something as small as a quarter. So don't underestimate the power of curiosity. Start checking your change, search your drawers, open that old coin jar. You might be closer to a life-changing discovery than you think. History has a way of rewarding those who pay attention. So here's the question. When the next rare coin surfaces, will you be the one holding it, or the one who spent it without knowing? The choice is yours. But remember, fortune favors the observant. Stay curious. Stay inspired. And who knows, your journey to a wealthy lifestyle could begin with just one coin. Imagine holding a small, ordinary 1980 Washington quarter in your hand. Something you've probably used hundreds of times to buy coffee, feed a parking meter, or toss into a wishing fountain. Now imagine realizing that same coin could be worth $856,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1980p mint mark Washington quarter, once thought to be just pocket change, has become one of the most sought-after treasures in the coin collecting world. But before you rush to check your coin jar, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this coin so rare, how to spot the valuable errors, and why collectors are fighting to own one right now. And trust me, you won't want to miss the part where I reveal what a recent collector did to turn his forgotten quarter into a life-changing fortune. Because if he could do it, maybe you can too. Back in 1980, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of Washington quarters. To the untrained eye, they all looked identical: George Washington's proud profile on one side, and the majestic bald eagle on the reverse. But buried among those countless coins were a few that came out not quite right. These weren't mistakes of carelessness. They were accidents of fate. Tiny misalignments, double strikes, off-center impressions, minting errors that slipped through unnoticed. And today, these imperfections are what make those rare 1980p quarters worth a fortune. Coin experts and collectors are obsessed with these flawed beauties. Why? Because each one is a unique fingerprint of history. No two error coins are exactly alike. One could show a dramatic die clash, another might be struck on the wrong planchet, and another could display a fascinating off-center strike that looks like it's sliding off the coin itself. And here's where it gets exciting: the current market value of the most pristine and dramatic 1980p mint era quarter has soared to an unbelievable $856,000. Think about that for a second. A coin worth 25 cents, now commanding nearly $1 million. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Seriously? My old quarters could be worth that much? Well, don't laugh just yet. Because in the world of rare coins, lightning really can strike twice. Here's the truth. As the coin market heats up and more investors pour in, the demand for authentic mint errors is skyrocketing. High-end collectors, investors, and even luxury asset brokers are snapping up rare coins like this, treating them not just as collectibles, but as investments in history. Think of it this way: while some people are gambling on stocks or crypto, the smart money is flowing into tangible assets like rare coins, gold, and art. And the 1980p mint era quarter is sitting right at the center of that growing frenzy. But here's the catch: not every 1980 quarter is valuable. You have to know what to look for. Does your coin show a double die in the lettering? A missing mint detail? A striking flaw? Because even the smallest imperfection could mean the difference between face value and fortune. Stay with me until the end, because I'll share how you can identify the exact features that make your coin a hidden gem. And hey, if you're tempted to grab a magnifying glass right now, go ahead. I'll wait. Now let's talk about what happens when ordinary people discover they've been sitting on extraordinary wealth. One collector from Florida found his 1980p quarter tucked away in a forgotten change drawer. He thought it looked a little off, so he had it appraised. That little off detail turned out to be a rare double strike error. A few months later, he sold it at auction for $856,000. That's not just a payday. That's a transformation. That's mortgage-free living. That's a new car, a dream vacation, and the freedom to live life on your own terms. And the best part? There are still coins like this out there, hiding in plain sight, in pockets, in jars. In your home. So if you've ever felt like life's big opportunities have already passed you by, remember this. Sometimes, the smallest treasures hold the biggest rewards. Imagine finding one of these quarters today, your name on the auction listing, your coin featured in collector magazines, your story inspiring others to check their change. Because those who take action are the ones who get rewarded. Don't wait until these coins vanish from the market or prices climb even higher. Do your research, get your coins appraised, and step into the world of high-value numismatics, where passion meets prosperity. Before you leave, ask yourself one question: what if the next time you hand over a quarter, you're giving away a fortune? So take a look at your collection, check those coin rolls, and maybe, just maybe, your 1980p Washington quarter could be your golden ticket to financial freedom. Stay curious, stay ambitious, and remember, fortune favors the bold, and sometimes the observant. Imagine this for a moment: you're standing in line at your local grocery store, jingling a few coins in your pocket. You pull out a 1986 quarter to pay, completely unaware that you might be holding nearly $1 million in your hand. Sounds unbelievable, right? But what if I told you that a simple 1986p mint mark Washington quarter, yes, the one minted in Philadelphia, has recently shocked collectors across the nation with a jaw-dropping market value of $983,000. Welcome to today's story, the tale of how an ordinary coin turned into an extraordinary fortune. This isn't just about metal and minting. This is about discovery, destiny, and the hidden wealth quietly sitting in millions of American homes. So before you toss that old change jar aside or cash in your quarters at the bank, stay with me, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly what to look for, and it might just change your financial future. But let's rewind the clock. It's 1986. Ronald Reagan is president, the Statue of Liberty turns 100, and the U.S. Mint is producing millions of Washington quarters. Most of them, ordinary. But a small handful were struck differently. A minting error so subtle, yet so significant, it transformed an everyday coin into one of the most sought-after treasures in American numismatic history. Now, what makes the 1986p Washington quarter so valuable? Here's where it gets fascinating. Experts discovered that certain quarters from the Philadelphia Mint carried a striking anomaly, a minting error invisible to the casual eye but instantly recognizable to trained collectors. Some had a doubled die obverse, where George Washington's features appear slightly shadowed or doubled. Others displayed a rare planchet flaw, giving them a unique texture and weight difference. These quirks were born not from carelessness, but from mechanical imperfection, the kind that creates history. And here's where things take a turn. One of these rare error coins recently surfaced in pristine, uncirculated condition. It was sent to auction, where bids skyrocketed past expectations. Within minutes, the humble 25-cent piece climbed to a staggering $983,000, setting collectors' forums ablaze and sparking a gold rush-like frenzy across the country. Now, you might be wondering, why would anyone pay nearly $1 million for a coin worth a quarter? Well, here's the thing: rarity is power. In the world of coin collecting, rarity drives desire, and desire drives price. A single minting error can elevate an average coin into a status symbol, a relic of perfection born from imperfection. It's the American dream in metal form: ordinary beginnings, extraordinary destiny. And let's be honest, there's something thrilling about the idea that you might have one too. Somewhere in your drawers, your old coffee tin, or that forgotten coin jar in the attic could be the exact quarter that turns your story into the next great discovery. Wait, before you start rushing to your change collection, let me share something critical. Not all 1986p quarters are valuable. The true gems show certain characteristics under magnification: sharp doubling around Washington's eye, distinct misalignment on the lettering Liberty, or a faint die crack along the rim. These are the signs that separate a standard coin from a six-figure masterpiece. Funny thing, right? You might have spent hundreds of these quarters at gas stations over the years without ever realizing their hidden worth. Makes you want to dig through your couch cushions, doesn't it? Now that you know what to look for, here's the exciting part. The demand for these rare 1986p mint quarters is skyrocketing. Collectors, investors, and even museums are on the hunt, pushing values higher each year. The rare coin market is booming, and people who once dismissed old pocket change are now cashing in on life-changing returns. This isn't just about selling a coin. It's about recognizing value when others don't. It's about turning forgotten history into financial freedom. Every great success story starts with awareness, and today that awareness could be your first step toward wealth. So, before this wave passes, check your coins carefully. Use a magnifier, examine the mint mark, study the details. You don't need to be an expert, you just need curiosity and the willingness to look. Because the next $983,000 quarter could be sitting quietly in your home right now, waiting for the right eyes to see it. And here's a thought. What if I told you this isn't the only quarter out there worth a fortune? What if another overlooked year, another tiny minting detail, hides an even greater secret? Well, that's exactly what I'll reveal in my next video. A coin that's shocking collectors with values beyond imagination. So, if you're ready to uncover more hidden treasures and turn your old change into a wealthy lifestyle, don't just watch, join. Subscribe now, turn on the bell icon, and be part of this movement of discovery and prosperity. Remember, million-dollar opportunities rarely announce themselves. They hide in plain sight, waiting for someone curious enough to look closer. That's the beauty of coin collecting. It's history, mystery, and wealth, all in the palm of your hand. So go ahead, check that quarter. Your next piece of pocket change might just be the key to your next chapter of abundance. Imagine walking into your kitchen, reaching into a jar full of loose change, and pulling out a single coin that could change your entire life. A coin so rare, so mysterious, that collectors are fighting tooth and nail to own it. Believe it or not, one 1987 Washington quarter, yes, the same quarter most people overlook, has recently made headlines with a staggering market value of $834,000. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, there's no way my old pocket change could be worth that much, pause for a second, because right now, thousands of ordinary Americans are discovering small treasures hiding right in plain sight. The truth is, your coin collection, or even that forgotten coffee can full of quarters, could be sitting on a gold mine. But here's the twist. Not every 1987 quarter is valuable. The fortune lies in the error, a one-of-a-kind minting flaw that transforms an ordinary 25-cent piece into a collector's dream. And in the next few minutes, we're going to uncover the secret behind this ultra-rare coin, reveal how to spot it, and explain why it's in such high demand that wealthy collectors are willing to pay luxury home prices for it. So grab your seat, because by the end of this video, you might be looking at your change jar with brand new eyes. Let's travel back to 1987. The Denver Mint was running at full speed, striking millions of Washington quarters. But deep in the heart of that massive operation, something unexpected happened. A tiny imperfection, invisible to the naked eye at first, altered the destiny of a few coins forever. Some 1987 quarters were struck off-center, some featured double dies, and a few even had clipped planchets, the kind of rare minting mistakes that collectors crave. These are the coins that escaped the mint's strict inspection process, silently making their way into circulation. Each of them now represents a piece of American minting history and, quite literally, a small fortune. Now here's where things get exciting. Imagine the feeling of flipping through your old coins and spotting one with a faint doubling around George Washington's eye or the word liberty. That single detail could turn your humble quarter into an $834,000 masterpiece. Collectors call it the dream find. Dealers call it the jackpot. But I call it something even more powerful, proof that hidden value exists everywhere, waiting for those who know how to look. And just think about it, the average person throws away potential wealth every day without realizing it. That's where the fear kicks in, the fear of missing out. While you're watching this, someone out there is already digging through their old coin rolls, hoping to uncover their financial breakthrough. So, why not you? Here's a funny thought. How many times have you used a quarter at a vending machine or laundry without even glancing at the date? Maybe, just maybe, you've spent your retirement fund one gumball at a time. But don't worry, today that changes. Now that you know the legend of the 1987 Washington quarter, let's talk about why it's skyrocketing in value. Rare coin experts say it's all about scarcity, condition, and collector obsession. Each of these error quarters tells a story, a frozen moment from America's minting history. And as fewer of them surface, demand surges higher. At auctions, these coins are becoming status symbols, treasures for the elite. Imagine your name flashing on a collector's forum because you uncovered one of the last known specimens. That's not just money. That's legacy. But here's the cliffhanger. Experts believe there are still a handful of these ultra-rare quarters out there in circulation. They could be hiding in pocket change, in drawers, or sitting unnoticed in private collections. The question is, will you be the one to find the next $834,000 quarter? Because those who act now, those who start searching, who learn to recognize the details, who seize the opportunity, are the ones who change their financial destiny. Don't let hesitation be the reason someone else claims the reward that could have been yours. So tonight, after this video ends, go through your old coins. Check every 1987 D quarter carefully. Look for minting errors, doubling, or odd shapes on the rim. Every second you wait, the competition grows fiercer, because word is spreading fast in the numismatic community. And if you're wondering whether this is truly worth your time, remember, one coin, one discovery, one moment of curiosity can lead to a lifetime of abundance. The 1987 D Washington quarter isn't just a coin. It's a symbol, a reminder that wealth often hides in the smallest places, waiting for those bold enough to look. Imagine this for a moment. You're digging through an old jar of change, maybe the one tucked away in your kitchen drawer or passed down from your parents, and suddenly, you spot a 1990 D Washington quarter. It looks ordinary, just another piece of spare change. But what if I told you that this very coin could be worth an unbelievable $873,000? Yes, nearly $1 million hiding in plain sight, right there in your loose change. Welcome to the world where history meets fortune, where the smallest details on a coin can transform your financial destiny. Most people overlook the 1990 D quarter, dismissing it as pocket change, but serious collectors and numismatic experts know. This is one of the rarest and most lucrative minting errors in modern American history. Now, before you rush off to grab your coin jar, stay with me, because what makes this coin so valuable isn't just the year or the D mint mark. It's something far more subtle, something only a trained eye would spot. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and how to turn that tiny piece of metal into life-changing wealth. Let's rewind to 1990. The Denver Mint was producing millions of Washington quarters for circulation, flawless, ordinary, everyday coins. But among those millions, a few slipped through with a shocking mistake. These coins had minting errors so rare, so specific, that they would become the hidden gems of modern coinage. Some were struck off-center, others had double dies, and a few, the rarest of all, displayed what experts call a misaligned die strike, giving the portrait of George Washington a ghostly, shadowed appearance. These weren't visible to the average eye. But collectors? They noticed. And once they did, the bidding wars began. In recent years, one of these extraordinary 1990 D-era quarters sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $873,000. That's right, the price of a luxury home, paid for a single 25-cent coin. Imagine the shock on the seller's face when that hammer dropped at the auction house. Now, you might be wondering why so much money for one coin. The answer lies in scarcity and demand. When only a handful of flawless error coins exist, collectors will pay anything to own a piece of American minting history. And as the number of serious coin investors continues to rise, so does the demand and the value of coins like the 1990 D Washington quarter. Here's something fascinating. Experts believe there are still a few of these coins floating around in private collections, bankrolls, and yes, even in everyday pocket change. So, before you spend that quarter at a vending machine, maybe take a closer look. Wait, before you start squinting at every coin under a magnifying glass, let's pause for a reality check. No, not every 1990 D quarter will make you rich. Unless, of course, you count the emotional satisfaction of finding one worth millions. And let's be honest, who doesn't want to feel like Indiana Jones with a magnifying glass? But here's the truth. Even minor mint errors can still fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So whether it's a double die, a clipped planchet, or an off-center strike, it pays to know what to look for. And that's where things get interesting, because while everyone's chasing the flashy gold coins and silver dollars, the humble Washington quarter is quietly making people very, very rich. So, what does all this mean for you? It means opportunity. It means wealth is literally in your hands, you just have to know where to look. The 1990 D Washington quarter isn't just a collector's item. It's a symbol of hidden potential, of how something ordinary can turn into something extraordinary with the right knowledge. And as the demand for rare U.S. coins surges, the market for high-value errors is exploding. Auction houses are seeing unprecedented bids, investors are expanding their portfolios to include numismatic assets, and collectors are paying top dollar for coins that tell a story. Now imagine this, your coin collection, or maybe just your forgotten change jar, could be holding the next record-breaking piece. How would your life change if you discovered that a simple quarter could bring you nearly $1 million? That's not just wealth, that's transformation. But here's the catch, time matters. With every year that passes, fewer of these rare error coins remain in circulation. Collectors are snapping them up, locking them away in private vaults, and their value continues to climb. If you wait too long, your chance might just slip through your fingers. Literally.so, here's your call to action. After this video, take a few minutes to go through your coins. Look for the 1990D mint mark, examine it carefully under good light, and if you spot any unusual markings, doubling, or misalignments, get it professionally appraised. Because the next headline-breaking $873,000 coin could very well be sitting in your pocket right now. And here's the most exciting part, this isn't the only modern quarter turning heads in the collector world. There's another from the late 80s that experts believe could surpass even the 1990D in value. But that's a story for our next video.so. If you're ready to unlock the hidden fortune within your old coins, hit that subscribe button, because we're diving deeper into the rarest American coins that could make you the next millionaire collector. Remember, wealth isn't always found in banks or stocks. Sometimes, it jingles softly in your pocket, just waiting to be discovered. Imagine this. You're cleaning out an old drawer, maybe an inherited coin box from your grandfather, and you spot a dull, ordinary-looking quarter dated 1993. You toss it aside, it's just pocket change, right? But what if I told you that single coin could be worth a staggering $765,000 today? Yes, a single 1993D Washington quarter, the kind you might find at the bottom of your car cup holder, has made headlines in the rare coin world for its jaw-dropping error and astronomical value. This isn't just about a coin. It's about the moment ordinary turns extraordinary. And here's the truth, these coins are still out there, hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone who knows what to look for. Now, before we dive into the details, let me ask you something. When was the last time you checked your change? Because after watching this video, you'll never look at a quarter the same way again. Let's rewind to 1993, Denver Mint. Billions of quarters were struck, each carrying the familiar portrait of George Washington. But among them, a handful emerged different. These were no ordinary coins. A small minting error, almost invisible to the naked eye, transformed a common 25-cent piece into a collector's treasure worth more than most luxury cars. Experts discovered that this rare 1993D Washington quarter displayed an extraordinary die clash and planchet misstrike, a subtle imperfection that makes it one of a kind. It's the kind of minting flaw that sends shockwaves through the numismatic world. And here's the kicker. The rarity of this error means that collectors are willing to pay six figures just to own one. The last verified sale? A staggering $765,000. Imagine that. A coin originally worth just 25 cents, now worth more than a fully furnished penthouse in Miami. Now, you might be thinking, why is it worth so much? It's simple. Scarcity plus condition equals fortune. Combine that with the growing frenzy among elite collectors seeking to own a piece of minting history, and you've got a perfect storm of demand. Funny enough, some people spend years chasing crypto trends or stock market tips, while others unknowingly spend a quarter that could buy them a luxury car. Irony has never been more expensive, has it? So here's the question. Could you be sitting on one? Somewhere in your coin jar, your dresser, or maybe that coffee can in your garage, there might be a fortune disguised as change. And let me tell you, this is not the time to ignore it. The coin market is booming. Demand for error coins like the 1993D quarter is sky-high, and investors are paying record-breaking prices to own them. There's a growing urgency among collectors. They want these coins now. The opportunities are shrinking, and every day, one more rare piece gets locked away in a private collection, possibly forever. Picture this. A few minutes of your time today could reveal a small metal disc capable of rewriting your financial story. The thrill of discovery, The rush of realizing you hold something so few people on Earth ever will. That's what this journey is about. And here's the real beauty. This isn't just about selling a coin. It's about the lifestyle it unlocks. The freedom to live without worry, the satisfaction of turning history into wealth, and the inspiration of knowing you spotted what others overlooked. So, after you finish watching, go check your coins. Look closely. You never know. That ordinary 1993 D-quarter might be your ticket to the life you've dreamed of. Imagine this. You're sorting through loose change, maybe tossing a few quarters into a jar, and suddenly, without realizing it, you're holding a piece of American history worth nearly $1 million. Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that an ordinary-looking 1998 P Mint Mark Washington quarter could be worth an astounding $967,000 because of one incredible minting error? Before you think this is just another internet rumor, stay with me, because in the next few minutes you're going to discover how this rare error was born, why it's so valuable, and how you could identify if you've been sitting on a fortune. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at your spare change the same way again, so grab your coffee, or better yet, that old coin jar, and let's uncover the secret behind one of America's most astonishing coin treasures. The year was 1998. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia was producing millions of Washington quarters for circulation. Everything was routine until a small but critical error slipped through. Somewhere along the production line, a die was misaligned, resulting in a stunning minting flaw that gave birth to one of the rarest quarters in modern American history. Now, here's where things get thrilling. Most people would never notice this error. To the untrained eye, it looks just like any other 1998 quarter. But look closer, and you might spot a double strike, off-center design, or a distinct misprint on the mint mark itself. These tiny imperfections, invisible to most, are exactly what make this coin so outrageously valuable today. Collectors across the United States have been hunting for this elusive 1998 P error for years. And when one finally surfaced in near-perfect condition, it shook the coin world, fetching a market value of $967,000 at a private auction. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $1 million for a single quarter. Here's a fun thought. How many times have you handed a quarter to a vending machine, not knowing it could have changed your life? The fear of missing out on that possibility, on literally giving away a fortune for a soda, has collectors and ordinary Americans alike rushing to check their coins right now. And if you're thinking, well, there's no way I have one, think again. Some of the rarest coin discoveries were found by people who knew nothing about collecting. One man from Ohio discovered his 1998 P error quarter inside an old coffee can. Another found one tucked inside a family coin album from the 90s. What makes this particular error so valuable? It's a perfect storm of rarity, historical timing, and pristine condition. The 1998 quarter sits at the crossroads between the classic Washington design and the upcoming state quarter era of 1999. That makes it a transitional coin already desirable, and the mint error only amplifies its exclusivity. The result? A coin that's not just rare, but coveted by elite collectors and investors who see it as both a historical artifact and a luxury asset. It's no longer just a piece of metal. It's a symbol of wealth, foresight, and timing. Here's the truth. Somewhere out there, more of these 1998 P error quarters are waiting to be discovered. They're hidden in coin rolls, old savings jars, and even tucked away in dresser drawers. The question is, will you find one before someone else does? The market for rare coins has exploded in recent years. As investors look for tangible assets, error coins like the 1998 P Washington quarter have become the new frontier of wealth. Every week, new records are being set, and every discovery sends a ripple of excitement through the community. So here's what you need to do. After watching this video, go through your change. Look for a 1998 quarter with the P mint mark from Philadelphia. Examine it carefully. Notice anything off-center, doubled, or unusual in its details. That's your cue to get it evaluated. Even minor errors can fetch tens of thousands. And the rarest examples? They can skyrocket into 6 or even 7 figures. And don't wait, because once the word spreads, these coins vanish into private collections faster than you can say, $250,000. The opportunity is real, the demand is hot, and timing is everything. Who knows? You could be the next person holding a $967,000 piece of American history, one that transforms your financial story forever. So before you toss that quarter aside, remember, wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street. Sometimes, it jingles quietly in your pocket. Because right now, while most people ignore their spare change, a handful of sharp-eyed collectors are finding life-changing treasures in the most unexpected places. And next week, we're diving into another unbelievable coin discovery. One even rarer than the 1998 P quarter. So, don't miss out. Subscribe, stay alert, and remember, every coin tells a story. Yours might just be worth a fortune. Imagine this, you're holding a simple 2021 Washington quarter in your hand. Just 25 cents. You toss it in a drawer, maybe leave it on your car's cup holder, thinking it's just spare change. But what if I told you that one specific quarter from that very same year, struck with the P mint mark from Philadelphia, could be worth nearly $1 million today? Yes, you heard that right, $999,000 for a single coin. Now before you rush to empty your coin jar, here's the thing. Not every 2021 quarter is valuable. But one incredible minting error turned an ordinary coin into a once-in-a-lifetime fortune. And if you know what to look for, you could be sitting on a piece of history and a ticket to life-changing wealth. But here's the twist. Most people who had this coin in their hands never even knew it. They spent it at a gas station, dropped it in a vending machine, or gave it away as change. That's the tragedy of ignorance and the opportunity of awareness. Stick with me because in just a few minutes, you'll know exactly why this 2021 P Washington quarter is breaking records, what specific error gives it that jaw-dropping value, and how you can identify if one is hiding in plain sight in your home. Let's go back to 2021. The U.S. Mint was rolling out the final Washington quarters of an era, featuring the Crossing the Delaware design. But during the minting process at the Philadelphia facility, something extraordinary happened. A small batch of coins was struck with a rare die error that created a distinctive visual anomaly. An overlapping strike, slight misalignment, or a doubling in the detail that shouldn't exist. To a casual eye, it looks like a normal coin. But to an expert collector, or a lucky viewer like you, it's a masterpiece of minting history. Here's where things get exciting. Professional graders and numismatists started noticing these rare coins surfacing in circulation. Some were discovered in coin rolls, others in everyday pocket change. And when these coins hit the auction block, they stunned the world. Bidding wars erupted. Collectors fought fiercely, driven by a mix of fear of missing out on the next million-dollar treasure, and the sheer thrill of owning one of the rarest modern quarters ever struck. The most pristine, verified 2021 P error quarter reached an astounding $999,000 in private sale. Let that sink in. That's not just collector's value. That's life-changing money. Just imagine finding one in your home right now. What would you do? Would you sell it, frame it, or hold on to it, watching its value climb year after year as its rarity grows? Now, I know what you might be thinking. Really? A 2021 quarter? I probably spent $1 million worth of those on parking meters already. Trust me, you're not alone. It's funny how we overlook what's right under our noses, sometimes literally jingling in our pockets. So, how can you identify this valuable 2021 P mint mark quarter? First, check the obverse, the side with George Washington's portrait, for the clear P mint mark just below, "In God We Trust." Then, examine the finer details under a bright light or magnifying glass. Look for unusual textures, doubling or slight misstrikes near Washington's face or the lettering. The error gives the coin an almost ghostly shimmer, a subtle but undeniable clue that you're looking at something extraordinary. But here's the urgent part. These coins are being scooped up by collectors at lightning speed. As more are graded and sold, the available number shrinks, and the value spikes. The window of opportunity is closing fast. What was once found in circulation could soon be locked away forever in private collections and museum vaults. And if you're thinking this is just luck, it's not. It's about awareness. The people who profit from finds like this aren't just lucky. They're informed, they're observant, and they take action. So, take this as your sign. Go through your change. Check your jars, your drawers, your old wallets, even your car's cup holder. Because one 2021 P quarter, with that rare minting error, could turn an ordinary day into an unforgettable chapter in your life. And here's the best part. This isn't the only modern coin hiding secrets worth thousands, even millions. There are other quarters, dimes, and pennies in circulation right now that most people overlook every single day. In my next video, I'll reveal another US coin currently selling for over $500,000, and it might already be in your possession. So if you want to stay ahead of the game, if you want to transform forgotten change into real wealth, make sure you subscribe, stay tuned, and start checking every single coin you touch, because the next one might just change your life forever.